Welcome to Why I Should Have Stayed as an Apprentice, Part 2. As we talked about in our first video, Part 1, after 6 years of contracting, I should have stayed an apprentice because I recognized the value of having an apprentice mindset. The second part to this is now talking about in that first few years of being an apprentice, you're exposed to so many different types of job sites. New construction, remodel, commercial, you name it. You're faced with so many different opportunities to learn and opportunities to grow. As we start growing, as we start advancing in the career, we go through the ranks. We go from apprenticeship to mechanic to journeyman level to licensed master level. And then if you want to go into contracting, you can open up your own contracting company. What I recognize throughout all those phases, the job sites stay the same, your work ethic gets defined and refined, and then your quality, your work ethics, that's what doesn't change for the most part. For the most part, so many of us go through the habits of just going to work, getting it done. It's cookie cutter. Because throughout the years, you change, but the work itself doesn't. That's how you start getting better at tasks. That's how you start getting better at, oh, I've seen this before, let me do this. I know how to do that, let me do this. That's when muscle memory starts kicking in. So one constant throughout everything is job sites. And then when you look at it a step closer, you recognize how valuable the steps of construction are, the physical order of operations. We keep going back to the order of operation, the systems, the sequencing needed for a smooth rollout on a project. So this month we were also talking about how to develop your own builder's business blueprint. As you walk into a new field, when you walk into a new venture, when you decide to open up business, or you're already in business and you want to refine for a new year that you're walking into, you have to develop a plan. You have to develop a visual guide on what you are going to be doing by year's end, and then meet those metrics along through the years as a reference back to where you're going and where you're coming from. With that being said, it compares directly with a job site, with job sites. In our business blueprint, we develop the sequence, the 4 parts of what is needed in your builder's blueprint. We talk about the contract. We talk about the foundation, the structure, and the actual blueprint. We understand these phases are through every construction site that we will face. Every job site that we visit had the same order of operation. So many people go into contracting and they hit the ground running and they don't see what patterns lie in front of them. They don't know that, hey, there's things that people already messed up on. Here's the way to go. That's why having this apprentice mindset is so valuable. In those first years of an apprentice and your apprenticeship, you get to see all these different job sites. And guess what? No one's built a house on sand. No one ever starts construction without the structure being framed out. There's an order to everything. There's an order in operations. The same applies in part 2. As an apprentice, you recognize the sequence. First, you get the contract to begin work. Then they need the foundation. Then they create the structure where you can start doing your work. And now you have your blueprints to begin. The same applies as a contractor. I recognize that those steps, those orders of operation, that sequence is so valuable to us today as a contractor. Because first, the contract, we have to recognize the agreement that we're making with ourselves. Hey, am I going to be in business for 2025? Yes. Okay, cool. I understand the difficulties. Let's do it. I made that agreement with myself. The foundation, the solid foundation of a building has to be you as the owner. You are the foundation of the company. If you are not disciplined, if you are morally just all over the place, if you don't have character, the structure is not going to last. Now the structure, which all around you, the walls that basically govern your job site, what's that structure? What's the industry looking like for you? And then the blueprint. We gotta follow the blueprint for every step of the project. We gotta update the blueprint. We gotta redline the blueprint. We gotta make change orders to the blueprint. Why? Because we understand it's always going to be a refining period. So with that in mind, we have so much work to do as an owner, but it all starts with having that apprenticeship or apprentice mindset. You learn that system, you learn those sequences in your first few years, first few weeks, sometimes first few months as an apprentice that you don't know, you don't see the value in, because they just tell you to put your head down and go to work. And for years you just go bang, 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 you start haul-assing. As a contractor now, reflecting back, that is the key. Those first few years, that exposure just starting off, that is exactly what we need to become a successful tradesperson. So as a recap, part 1, why having an apprentice mindset is so valuable. Because you recognize that you have to look at a project from A to Z, recognize patterns, recognize opportunities to help your team, to grow, to finish the job safely, and to become a leader, a facilitator. Part 2, you recognize during your apprenticeship the different types of job sites that you'll be visiting. Yet each job site has an order of operation. Each one started with a contract. Each one started with a solid foundation, structure, blueprint to complete the work. You understand that that blueprint's going to get refined, marked up, redlined, change orders, baby. That applies with you in your business. You understand how much has to get refined as you grow in your business. So this is why, even after 6 years of contracting, I should have stayed as an apprentice. Take care, guys. If you found this interesting, please feel free to like, subscribe, check out our other videos on how to build your own business blueprint. Or if you want to understand why having an apprentice mindset is so valuable, click our other videos. Take care, everybody. Be safe.